Followed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move lateral.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They'll run with Foreman. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. A carry for Foreman, and he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Texans send the punter out. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
14.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney Merciless. He's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He lets it fly for luck. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, a reminder to everyone out there, coming up soon, the NFL Club Championship event. Now, there are a handful of those club events that haven't been determined yet, but eventually there will be a representative from each of the 32 NFL teams. It's about $700,000 worth of prize money, and it's all going to take place live on Twitch every day at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, starting January 30th and running through February 2nd. Don't miss it. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Out to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. With that ball hitting the ground, let's take a spin around the league real quick. Last week we discussed the head coaching vacancies. There were 8 of them. Well, a lot of those places have already found new coaches, Charles. Some old faces in new places. Bruce Arians in Tampa Bay. Adam Gase staying in the AFC East, jumping from Miami to the Jets. And how about some of the new fellas?
Yeah, how about Cliff Kingsbury? He went to USC to be the offensive coordinator after losing his job at Texas Tech. Ends up being the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Freddie Kitchens gets the job in Cleveland, gets the promotion. Vic Fangio finally getting his shot to be a head coach. He's going to Denver. And Matt LaFleur, he's going to work with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
That leaves us with 2 remaining spots, Cincinnati and Miami, still searching. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson dancing to his left. And he finds his man Griffin. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Play action for Miller. Now Watson under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson, escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen that, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. Now it's Wilson, flushed out right. Caught right side, Davis. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now Wilson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Back to throw, Watson underneath for Miller. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw on second is Watson. Caught here by Griffin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Watson now to throw. He's going to air one out. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans are in for 6.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff, because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Let's go, 14.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Flush to his right. And his throw is incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity. In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays. It could be turning points. This could be a turning point. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
A run by Foreman to start the drive. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a give to Miller. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now a handoff to Miller. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. This is Miller. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Underneath to Davis. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Shotgun. Go 14.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. A dump off for Davis. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing is Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
14.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man, it's Vanette. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush is just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20, 10, 5.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. On second down, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Houston, it's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Wilson on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Let it run and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now it's Watson, the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big 30-yard play on third. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Miller. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Black 22.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Watson, flushed out right. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. Here's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 39 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Wilson being chased out left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Go. 19.
From the shotgun, Wilson forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Go 14.
He's back to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Vanette, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks, a 2-point conversion away from tying the game. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. Snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On the counter, it's Miller. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. Steps away. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. On the move to it, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw.